Hello. In this video, we're going to talk about shoulder pain. All right? So there's many different causes of shoulder pain, but the one I want to talk about today is what we will typically call an impingement, where structures are kind of being squeezed. We'll also sometimes refer to it as a rotator cuff problem. So an issue in the muscles of the rotator cuff or of the long head of bicep. So there's going to be pain in here, most typically with movement. Now, what are my clients going to tell me when they come in with pain in this category? Often it hurts to lift their arm overhead. What I might observe is going to be pain somewhere in this, what we call arc, either to the front or to the side. Okay? The second one is there's going to be pain taking off a t-shirt, putting on a coat, anything that puts your arm sort of in an awkward position, or a position where you're having to lift something up in an awkward position, especially when it's away from the body. The third most common complaint is that they are unable to sleep on the affected shoulder. All right, so those are the three main things: an arc or pain with movement, pain putting on or taking off clothing, and last one, sleeping on the arm. Now, there's certain conditions where you're unable to lift the arm. So what I'm going to show you here may or may not be appropriate for that, because the first thing we're going to do is a hanging stretch. So I'll show you that over at the chin-up bar. All right, first step here, we're going to use my trusty doorway chin-up bar here. So if you don't have a chin-up bar, you can either just hang from the lip, or you can even use a tabletop. Get your hands here and stretch that way. Or a sink. If you use a sink, you can kind of grip onto the edge of the sink and lean back into it. But ideally it's something you can really hang from, either a chin-up bar, or you head out to a kid's playground and find a bar that you can hang from. All right? So in this one, you can either choose to have your hands facing backward like this, or if you have a parallel part of your bar, you can hold it like this. And this is the one I'm going to choose here. Now, in this position, it must be moderately painless. So I'm willing to go up to maybe a 2 or a 3 out of 10 when you're in this position, but not beyond that. So you're going to get your grip. You're going to square up your body. You're going to let your knees bend. Just explore the feeling of stretch. And this is a passive hang, not an active hang. This would be an active hang here. This is a passive hang, because we really want to stretch both of the muscles and the joint. Now, if you can take full body weight, fine. You can take your feet right off the floor and just kind of swing freely there. Now, what you might find is your grip gives out before the shoulder, but ideally I'd like you to be in the 30 seconds to a minute range. All right? So once you've done that and the shoulder is nicely stretched, just ease out of it, and then we're going to do a series of active lifts. You can either do them in the front or the side, or a combination of both. So in a good postural position, leading with your thumbs, you're just going to slowly take your arms up overhead and back down. So up and down. Now, if that's a little bit uncomfortable, it's more moderate to do it with the hands closer. So you can do this version. But we're trying to get the muscles working again and get lubrication of the joint. The joint needs movement. Now, if even that one is slightly painful, another layer lower would be to take the hand onto the wall. So both hands facing the wall, and then you're going to slide the arm up the wall like that. So by having the hands on the wall, it's even lighter for the shoulder joint. But any way you look at it, I want you to be moving that shoulder. And I want you to be moving it in a way that doesn't aggravate the underlying problem. Make sense? Okay. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to do some strength work using bands, and I'm going to attach my bands in a doorway. So we're going to head over there. Okay, so we're going to do 3 exercises. Now, the reason I'm choosing these exercises is, number one, they're all designed to work on the posture of the shoulders. One of the things that a sore shoulder doesn't like is a dropped position. So you want to have the scapula or the shoulder placed in as ideal as possible a position as you can get. So these 3 exercises are designed to do that. The second reason is that in my experience, they tend not to aggravate most shoulder issues. So that being said, if there's pain when you do these, please back off or please don't do them. You may not be ready for it yet. Okay, the first one. What we're going to use here is a thick band. Now, these are called chin-up assist bands. Now, you can get them from your local fitness store, or you can get them from lots of the online retailers. Now, the reason I'm choosing these over a more traditional TheraBand or TheraTube is it's just thicker. It creates more resistance, and you're much more likely to get to a fatigue point. Now, I also have this attached to a doorway attachment piece, which again I found from an online retailer. So what you're going to do, take this, kind of put it in the door at the height that you think is right, close the door, making sure that the door is really well latched. Now you're going to step back, and with the arm straight, you want there to be already some tension here. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull back so the elbows come beside the body, and then you're going to release it. You're going to pull back, you're going to hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let it go. So you're really feeling those muscles in the upper back between the shoulder blades. Okay, and let it go. Now, the thing with banding is you can step further back if you want more resistance, or you can move closer towards the attachment point if you want it to be less intense. Okay, now we're going to do enough of these so you start to feel a significant sensation between your shoulder blades. Now, we could call that fatigue. You're unlikely to get to failure, but you want to feel like you've really worked those muscles. Okay, that's your first one. Now, the second one, we're going to use the same band, but we're going to lower it down a little bit. Okay, once again, making sure that's locked. Now, what we're going to do here is an exercise for the deep lateral rotators of the shoulders. So that is infraspinatus and teres minor. They sit right back in here. But they work along with the rhomboids and the traps. So we're going to be working the rotators and the scapular retractors. Let's call them that as a group. All right? Now, I'm going to tell you in my experience, the rotators tend not to be weak. On some people they are, but generally they're not. So I think of this exercise more just about strengthening the shoulder, strengthening that postural position, and another way to move the shoulder theoretically without aggravating it. Now, some people, as they move into this, they're going to reach pain at a certain point. You do not want to go there. All right, so you're just going to hold on to it. I have a double here. You could just choose to use a single. So from here, elbow a little bit away from the body, but really well set, and you're going to move to the side. You're going to hold it, hold it, hold it, and let it go. Again, go out to the side. You want to feel everything behind that shoulder working, and slowly let it go. All right, once again, looking for a relative fatigue point. Now, this is a quite a bit weaker muscle group or series of muscles than the one that I showed you first, so you might actually reach a point where you can't do anymore. All right? You want a tension that you can do at least 10. All right. The third one we're going to do, we're not going to use the door. So again, I've chosen a chin-up assist band, but one that's quite a bit thinner. And you're going to start with your arm straight forward, and what you're going to do here is you're going to pull out to the side. So you can see what's happening there is as I do it, the band comes towards my chest. In both directions, lots of control, lots of control. Okay? Once again, we're energizing or strengthening those muscles in the back of the shoulder. All right, so those are our 3. A pull back, elbows lead, a rotational movement, and then an exercise that works rhomboids, traps, and also posterior deltoid. Now, what I want you to think about is these are just a starting point. So again, why I've chosen these is that they tend not to aggravate. Go through these to a fatigue point, do them twice, and when you feel like you're ready, we can start to do more traditional shoulder exercises. And we'll talk about that in another video. So thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please leave me a note below, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much. Do you want to move freely without stiffness or joint pain? Discover Joint Butter H+ from Dr. Tobias. It's a revolutionary fermented joint and mobility support made just for you. Joint Butter H+ contains 100% organic ingredients, has no fillers, preservatives, or chemicals, is packaged in glass, no plastic, no toxins, and is scientifically formulated for real results. It is made with a unique blend of 13 natural, research-backed ingredients. Joint Butter H+ helps you recover from injuries, supports your joints after surgery, and helps to keep you moving with joy at any age. Say goodbye to stiffness and a low to pain-free movement. Go to petertobias.com and join our community committed to a long, healthy, and active life.